Tonight. Eyewitness video used to trap criminals. See arrests go down. Meet real-life heroes. With host John Forsythe. Eyewitness video, NBC Tonight.
Tonight on Sequest.
Welcome to the Bermuda Triangle.
Going down hard. Hold on.
Lost inside the mysterious triangle, and only Darwin can lead them back.
Darwin, help Lucas.
We've got to find them.
They've forgotten about us.
Sequest at 8, 7 Central, NBC Tonight.
Years ago, when her mom was having a new baby, Susie thought the nurse was great. Of course, Blue Cross paid the hospital bill, and Susie paid close attention. Now Dr. Sue delivers good news for others. She has a great nurse to help her, and she's holding down costs as a Super Blue doctor.
Blue Cross covers all generations, and Super Blue can save money for your business. Call for a quote.
Tammy Faye Baker's Amazing Wedding, a world exclusive on A Current Affair.
That'll be after these messages from your local station. Backwards.
John Elway was right on the money for the entire opening 2 periods of the game. What can Cleveland do to sort of turn their offense around? A surprisingly flat performance in that first half.
Maybe trade for Elway.
Yeah, good point.
But I guarantee you, Bill Belichick went ballistic at halftime, and they are probably going to come out here in the second half and just try to reestablish their style of football. I think they'll come right back out, try and run the football, and then if things get desperate, get towards the end of the third quarter, maybe open it up a little then.
Have you ever seen Elway much better in that new short passing game offense? He just looks as sharp, maybe sharper than he's ever been.
And more than anything else, I just think that the guy is happy, and he has clearly been the difference. As you see the stats, it has been the passing yards that has really accounted for the difference in this ball game.
And a quick look at those Coors Light halftime stats. Total domination by the Denver Broncos. Elam to kick off for the Broncos to open the second half. Baldwin will chase it down at the 8. Penalty marker down. Baldwin tripped up at the 20-yard line. Rondell Jones got Baldwin by the ankles. Let's check the penalty marker. There are 2 of them way back upfield.
Offside, number 40, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
So we'll try it again. A re-kick.
Not too happy. Richard Smith, the special teams coach. That was Darrell Hall that jumped offsides for the Broncos. Just don't want to give these Browns any opportunities on special teams. A lot of different ways to hurt you, and obviously in that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple of weeks ago, their offense really didn't have that great of a day against the Steelers either. You just have to factor in those 2 punt returns by Eric Metcalf.
Well, they had the one big play, the 62-yard pass to Jackson, but you're right. It was not a great offensive showing despite the amount of points they put on the board and despite the win. In fact, the only good news for the Browns today has been the fact that the Bengals are beating the Steelers.
But even that looks shaky now.
16-14 the last time we checked.
Hope my Bengals just keep them under 50.
Baldwin this time will take it at about the 13. And Randy Baldwin to the 30 or 31-yard line, so a better field position for Kozar and company. 18-yard return. Frank Robinson made the tackle.
So that ended up being about a 10-yard penalty. Not a great first half for Bernie Kosar and the Browns.
That's the
punt.
That's sort of the Rockette offense, isn't it?
You know, you look at this, and really these 2 are pretty good because of the fact that that's the alternative, the block punt.
It's about 1-2-3 kick most of the time for the Brownies. 5 of 12. Beginning from the shotgun, and they caught a man offside. It was Dan Williams that came away early. That could have been interference, and it is. Michael Jackson bumped by Charles Dimry.
They're both going to go against the Broncos. They'll, of course, take the pass interference call and get the ball around
Offside,
the 45.
number 90, defense. Penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 29, defense. Automatic first down.
Charles Demery, who had the coverage on that play, in talking with Charlie Waters, he said sometimes Demery allows his guy to appear open so that he can come up and try to make the interception. He says, I just wish he'd just blanket his guy, take him out of the play, and not play with so much confidence. There he got there a little early against Michael Jackson.
Kosar ducks one man, throws to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Carrier, who was covered by Frank Robinson.
One of the disadvantages that Bernie Kosar has with that sidearm delivery is that when he has to recock his arm, it takes a long time, or it seems like it takes a long time for him to get the football out of there. He's going to pump fake it or just try to work around the pass rush, and then it's, and then it sails a little bit. The guy gets in his face, and very tough in the National Football League to use that sidearm delivery.
Again, he has to duck the rush. It is tripped up. There's a penalty marker. Shane Dronette tripped up Bernie Kosar. And a hold against the Browns. Looked like a takedown, and
Holding, number 72, offense. Penalty is declined, third down.
That's Bob Dahl, who was originally drafted as a defensive lineman by the Cincinnati Bengals. He ended up starting the final 9 games a year ago for the Browns. Really has played pretty well here, but boy, I tell you, the Broncos are putting a lot of pressure right up the middle and doing a good job of making Bernie Kosar move around that pocket.
Kosar has been exclusively in the shotgun on this first possession of the second half. Pressure again. He steps up to avoid it and dumps it to Horde. Leroy Horde with a head of steam dives for the first down. Frank Robinson tripped him up, but 13 yards and enough for a Cleveland first.
Interesting now that Bernie Kosar is back in the lineup and not Vinny Testaverde, that Leroy Horde is becoming a much bigger part of this offense. And what a huge first down for the Browns on third down and about 13 to pick that one up.
And quickly from the no huddle come the Browns. Hand to Metcalf, dancing his way forward. Can't get away and gained only a yard before he's wrapped up by Mike Kroll.
One of the things that Gary Tranquil, the offensive coach, I almost said offensive coordinator, they don't have one of those here in Cleveland, but the quarterback coach, they wanted to put Metcalf in there and see if they couldn't draw the nickel defense out of the Denver Broncos so that they could run the football. Not so much to pass, but so they could run the football, and that's what they did there.
Again, no huddle, again shotgun. Protection this time, plenty of it. Open man, Metcalf, dodged one man, dives inside the 35 to the 34. Tackled there by Kroll. 11 yards as they get the ball to Metcalf. First down, Browns.
I can't say that I blame them. When you're down 16-0, you've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of your stars. That's clearly Eric Metcalf. Lilo Lang tries to make a tackle. Charles Demery tries to make a tackle. Waterbug on the field.
Ball at the 32 of the Broncos. Browns looking for their first points. Again, protection. Jackson wide open, makes it at the 10, and then is covered by Atwater. 22 yards. Jackson was open. Pass a little too high, but Jackson went up to get it.
Bernie Kosar was not happy with somebody within this organization who had begun to question his skills. They said they put him on the bench because of the fact that Bernie had lost a little. He says, give me a chance. I'll prove I haven't lost anything.
Best drive of the game for the Browns to open the second half. The fade for Jackson. He collided with the defense and no flags. Charles Demery and Michael Jackson running together. Incomplete.
Bernie Kosar thought he had a man-to-man coverage here, but then Demery slipped out to the outside. And Michael Jackson had nowhere to work in the corner of the end zone. He started off with that inside technique and then worked outside and gave Bernie nowhere to throw the football.
2nd and goal from the 9. And the Browns will huddle this time as Tillman trots out onto the field. And Carrier comes out. Metcalf on a screen. Broncos were ready for it. Gain of 1. Dennis Smith and Tyrone Braxton were not fooled by that play.
Flanker screen. They brought in Lawyer Tillman to be the lead blocker, trying to get out in front. He's unable to make the block, but the speed of Mike Kroll, who once won the 100-meter dash. He was the champion in New England, ran a 10.7. Mike Kroll able to get out there and make the play on Metcalf.
10th play of the drive for the Browns. 3rd and goal from the 8. Metcalf's out of the game. There's the fade for Jackson. Penalty. That'll be a touchdown. Touchdown. Same play we saw earlier. Jackson against Dimry. Interference was called, but it didn't matter. Jackson made the catch and got 2 feet down.
And I tell you what, Tom, I think there's going to be a second flag. They're going to call him for unsportsmanlike conduct because of the arguing after the play.
Pass interference, number 29, defense, penalties declined, touchdown. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on number 29. 15 yards will be enforced on the kickoff.
There's the interference, there's the touchdown.
And the jawing started moments later. So Charles Dimry with 30 yards worth of penalties on one play. They came back to the play that had failed on first down and completed it this time for the touchdown.
What great concentration by Michael Jackson to make the catch despite the interference. The extra point by Stover is good. And the new look Cleveland Browns. Belichick did light a fire at halftime.
How do you know which motor oil to buy? They all look alike, they feel alike. You can't see them working in your engine. Well, first you ask the people who know cars best, ASC certified master technicians, and then you ask them which oil they put in their own cars. More top mechanics use Valvoline than any other brand of motor oil. Valvoline can help cars go 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put in theirs.
People who know use Valvoline.
Recently, Oldsmobile pitted its 88 LSS against Acura Legend L and Lexus ES 300. Well, actually, no. In fact, if you call this toll-free number, 1-800-LSS-TEST, we'll send you a free video showing how well the LSS stacks up against cars costing thousands more. You'll probably be grateful. After all, it's your money.
After these messages. The rush is on for the incomparable GE Profile refrigerator. The GE Profile is full of smart ideas, like a shelf that tucks away for tall things, and shelves that glide out so you can find things. It's called Smart Space Design. Smart ideas that let you put things in, take things out, and clean things up so quickly and easily that you'll never again miss your favorite commercials.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile. By Citibank Visa. Now with your photo and signature on the front for greater security. Not just Visa, Citibank Visa. By Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline. And by Pringles. So fresh, once you pop, you can't stop.
Slate gray skies of Cleveland matching the roof of Cleveland Stadium and the waters of Lake Erie. As we come down to the stadium, 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. I might go for an onside kick or something here while you're hot. Stover will kick it high and deep. Taken by Milburn. Milburn dancing his way to the 15-yard line, maybe the 14 only, and stopped after a 13-yard return by Randy Baldwin.
Does a nice job of kicking that time by Matt Stover. He got it up high enough that his cover team had a chance to get down there, and now they have him trapped back inside the 15-yard line. See if Elway can pull some magic now.
Those Hound Dogs in the pound just now getting worked up. This is the most excitement they've had since Chris Collinsworth's pre-game show visit.
That's the truth.
Rod Bernstein behind Elway. Elway hot in the first half. Here's Bernstein to the 16 or 17. Rob Burnett hanging on, gets him to the turf.
Nice play by Rob Burnett. Leads this team in sacks with 5 and shows he can do it against the run as well.
Bernstein, 10 carries, 41 yards today. 16-7 Broncos. This is their first possession of the second half. 10:20 left third quarter. Elway's pass to Bernstein. One-on-one with a linebacker, and carries Mike Johnson with him for another yard or two, picking up a Denver first down.
And boy, can this place get quiet after it was so noisy just a minute ago. Mike Johnson made the tackle. As you look at the first half possessions of the Denver Broncos, not exactly a fast start, but John Elway got it going with the passing game late in the first half.
From the Denver 26. Sideline incomplete. Pass intended for Arthur Marshall, who was streaking down the sideline, but Mustafa had good coverage with him stride for stride.
Najee Mustafa is having a good season. He's the one that had that 97-yard interception return against Scott Mitchell of the Dolphins. Maybe the only bad play that Mitchell had the entire season. Just absolutely perfect coverage. Got his head turned around. Beautiful pass defense by Najee Mustafa.
Mustafa coming over as an unrestricted free agent from Minnesota after missing all last season with a back injury. Quick release by Elway. Flag down. The pass to Johnson is complete. Immediately hit by Stevan Moore.
Bill Belichick just got a flag. He was standing right next to the back judge. Vance Johnson went down and pushed off and then got the completion. Good call by the officials and good call by Bill Belichick. He got the call. He was right in the ear of the official, and he's going to get this call.
The officials having a discussion, as you can see.
Interference, number 82 offense. We have a 5-yard face mask on number 27 defense. Penalties offset, second down. Replay.
Vance Johnson in the slot's going to come down here and push off in order to make the reception. Boom, there it is. You can't do that. And now for the face mask penalty at the end of the play. Stevan Moore came over to make the tackle. I don't think he got the face mask though.
In any event, the penalty's offset at 2nd and 10. Elway in trouble. Ball tripped him up. Great play by Jerry Ball as Elway was sprinting past. He was able to trip him up.
If there's any one player that represents the dog pound better than anybody else, it's big Jerry Ball. We saw him run down John Elway in the first half. He's getting double teamed, keeps pushing, then makes the dive and the stop on John Elway. The arch nemesis for John Elway all day long has been Jerry Ball.
Glenn Milbert in the game, joining Elway, who's in the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Elway's pass to Johnson is complete. It'll be very close to the first down. Terry Taylor on the tackle. To see the spot of the football. Elway under pressure did a great job to get rid of it, right on target. First down, Denver.
Nick Saban, the defensive coordinator, took a chance and got burned. He came with the safety blitz right here, and when that failed, it leaves you one-on-one coverage in the secondary, and Elway burns them. Nice job of picking up by the back. Allowed John Elway to step right and make the completion.
First down, Broncos from their own 37. They lead 16-7. Del Pino avoided 3 tacklers to get back to the line of scrimmage and gain a yard. NFL Live standing by for an update now. Let's check in with Jim Lampley.
Remember that global conspiracy to get Buffalo back to the Super Bowl? Well, there's a slight hang-up for the moment, as in the third quarter, Leonard Russell caps off a 73-yard drive, 8 minutes and 23 seconds long, to give the Patriots a 7-0 lead over the Bills. Back to Tom.
Bill Parcells, an old Bills nemesis, about to strike again, huh?
And the Bills always have trouble in New England.
False start. I heard that gun fire twice, I think. Rob Burnett was off to the races.
Offside, number 90, unabated toward the quarterback. No play, 5-yard penalty, second down.
This is a rule they put in just for the quarterbacks. You know, when you get 280 pounds moving in one shot, whoa, now, oh, baby, no, don't do that. But they put in that rule. Ordinarily, you can jump off sides and they won't call it, give you a free play. But if the guy looks like he's going to wound somebody like John Elway, they go ahead and blow the whistle.
Now 2nd and 4. Elway's going to throw. Del Pino. Robert Del Pino to the 32-yard line. A Denver first down. Chased down by Mike Johnson. Del Pino out of the backfield. He was the up back, the fullback. Got to the sideline, was waving his hand at Elway to throw him the ball.
Tom, that was about the 5th choice in this pattern. As you're going to see Elway look here, look here, look here, look here, and then finally throw it out here to the side. This is what Jim Fossil's offense is all about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's always somewhere to throw the ball, and Elway is executing this offense beautifully.
It was like a sandlot play. Del Pino waving for it. That time, Johnson is short-hopped with the ball by Elway.
Michael Dean Perry came in with the pressure. I asked Michael Dean if he was concerned about the fact that he only had 2 sacks on the season. He said, no, baby. They come in bunches like bananas. Last season, the last 5 games, he had 6.5 sacks. Michael Dean will just shed his man and get his helmet right up underneath the chin of John Elway.
Kind of caught his ankle in an awkward position, too. Elway was a little gimpy as he tried to walk off the hit by Michael Dean. Milburn, the lone setback. It's 2nd and 10. Milburn on the handoff, wrapped up immediately and ripped back by Randy Hilliard.
Randy Hilliard really has a lot of pressure on him now. Without Everson Walls, he's become the next corner in that secondary. You see there, he's got great speed, 4.3 speed, and also showing he can do some damage against the run. Nice play by Hilliard.
Denver has converted 5 of 8 third downs. Elway wide open to Sharp for the touchdown.
Again, the nickel package has killed the Cleveland Browns today.
Sharp came free. Del Spear tried to recover. He just bounced off Sharp, who took it 33 yards for the touchdown.
Shannon Sharp just right up the seam. Again, John Elway able to misdirect the safety. That time, Del Spear, as he looked left, Shannon Sharp got to flex.
Jason Elam out of the hold by Tommy Maddox will try the extra point. Here's another look.
See how Elway looked to the left side and then comes back. You know, this is something you don't see from a lot of wide receivers. Not a lot of wideouts do that flex thing.
Extra point is good. Cleveland scores to open the second half. Denver answers.
So, You're buying a new car? Well, before you spend all that money, why not make a free call? 1-800-LSS-WINS. When you do, we'll send you a free video showing how well the Oldsmobile 88 LSS luxury sedan stacks up against cars costing thousands more. It's your money, but fortunately, it's also a free call.
If you could see inside your suitcase when you travel, you'd see how Samsonite Hardside protects what's inside. Because Samsonite has a crush-resistant outer shell and a durable hardside construction that's designed to hold up over the long haul.
Daddy, did you bring me anything?
Samsonite Hardside. After all, you've got your life in there.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded. You! But then, they noticed your shoes. You! Great one! Booga, booga! So they gave you gifts. Keystone Light and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth. Bottle beer taste and care! Tweeting time! Wouldn't that be great?
The renovation of downtown Cleveland in progress along the Cuyahoga River. There is the, as yet officially unnamed, but the Gateway Stadium, new home of the Cleveland Indians. It'll hold 42,000 as the Indians open their season April 4th. And just behind that tall building, the new arena going up there will be the new home of the Cleveland Cavaliers next season. All in downtown Cleveland. And of course, inside Cleveland Stadium, which will remain the home of the Browns, the home team down 23-7 as Elam kicks off. Baldwin had a little seam and a flag is down. Tackle of Baldwin made by Jerry Evans after an 18-yard return.
What a huge drive, though, by John Elway and the Broncos. The Browns come right out, take it down for the score, regain the momentum, and then John Elway, as he has done so many times in this Browns team, silenced the crowd.
Speaking of silence.
Holding.
Oh, there it is.
Number 56 on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So 10-yard penalty against the Cleveland Browns will set them back as their offense comes on. Shannon Sharp with the gorilla look after that touchdown pass.
Look at the guns.
Citibank has really given us a new sense of self because we have our own identity.
I have a Citibank Visa card, and it does have my photo on it, so I have one less worry.
And not only that, but you can pick what you like, so it doesn't look like a DMV photo.
I don't know why the other credit cards aren't doing the same thing. We need a photo card. The family members can tell us apart.
Introducing the first credit card with your photo and signature on front from not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Now McDonald's always has one extra value meal for $2.99. Might be this one, this one, this one, or to find out which extra value meal is $2.99, go to your local McDonald's. Because if you want to know, you gotta go. Come on, no food fights.
Recently, Oldsmobile pitted its 88 LSS against Acura Legend L and Lexus ES300. Well, actually, no. In fact, if you call this toll-free number, 1-800-LSS-TEST, we'll send you a free video showing how well the LSS stacks up against cars costing thousands more. You'll probably be grateful. After all, it's your money.
Coming up next, the L.A. Raiders, led by quarterback Jeff Hostetler and their tenacious D, blow into the Windy City to take on the Chicago Bears. Next on NBC.
Denver up 23-7 on the Browns. 5:33 left, third quarter. And Cleveland with the ball at the Brown 18-yard line. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Mike Kroll. Second pass deflection of the day for the Denver defense.
Bernie Kosar really wanted to throw the ball on first down, due in large part to the fact that usually Mike Kroll drops into pass coverage, and to be honest, he's not very good with his zone defense. Pretty good with his vertical jump, but not very good with that zone defense. But they're going back to his strength. They're letting him rush.
Kosar's second down pass to Leroy Horde. Hit immediately. No gain on the play. Simon Fletcher.
The wind just seems to have gone from the sails of the Cleveland Browns after that drive by John Elway. They were so emotional coming out after the half and drove right down the field, and then Elway just shut them up.
Houston having a big day. They could be back in the AFC Central race if both Cleveland and Pittsburgh lose. Again to Horde, again very little. Darrell Hall doing a number on Horde that time. And a crescendo of boos will escort Kosar off the field.
I never thought of the dog pound as being Dalmatian type dogs, but I guess anything goes.
That's Milburn awaiting the punt by Brian Hansen.
Their version of Eric Metcalf.
Good punt by Hansen. Milburn backpedals to the 29. Spun around and taken down at the 44-yard line. 53-yard punt, 15 yards on the return. Denver's ball when we come back.
So, you're buying a new car? Well, before you spend all that money, why not make a free call? 1-800-LSS-WINS. When you do, we'll send you a free video showing how well the Oldsmobile 88 LSS luxury sedan stacks up against cars costing thousands more. It's your money, but fortunately, it's also a free call.
If your feathers have been ruffled by downdrafts in the market, get on board something big, safe, and secure. GetNet. It pays.
At the end of the day, more top mechanics in America choose one motor oil over any other brand to help keep their own cars running longer. Valvoline motor oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Taste you can't resist. There's no bag chips you can pop like this. Chips and bags got busted pieces. Brings you down with all their greases. The Pringles can't stop. Pop, the Pringles can't. You got the stack, you got the bunch. For a whole lot of taste of the Pringles crunch. You got the duck-bill lizard too. Only Pringles rings taste like this to you. The Pringles can't stop. Pop, the Pringles can't. So can those bags of fresh whole chips. Nothing like Pringles crush your lips. Yeah, once you pop, you can't stop.
Denver leading Cleveland 23-7, 4:39 left in the third. College football yesterday, the Florida State Seminoles a little flat against Maryland, but passed their final hurdle before their big matchup this Saturday in South Bend. It'll be Florida State 1 against Notre Dame 2.
You know, Tom, and I guess it's conceivable in that football game, if it's close enough, that they could remain 1-2, although Nebraska is still undefeated, and you would think that they might jump up.
I want to ask you about cold weather right after this Denver play. Robert Del Pino got a yard. Now, when you were playing for the University of Florida, and you lads had to come north to play in the colder climes, how did you react?
You know, I really think that that's going to be a factor in the ball game. Everybody is more or less big yawn. That's the way this game's gone. But more or less everybody is downplayed the fact that the Florida State Seminoles are going to have to play in the cold. But it was a major factor for the University of Florida when we went north. Very difficult for us to play in the cold weather.
College football game of the year, Notre Dame and Florida State. 1:30 this Saturday, Eastern Time. Out of the backfield to Bernstein, rocked down at the 45, maybe enough for a first down. Let's check in with Jim Lampley at NFL Live.
And take a look at the Metrodome, where John Freese gets it to Anthony Miller, who goes 66 yards to give the Chargers at that point a 16-3 lead. Later, a Salisbury to Anthony Carter pass made it 16-10. The two Anthonys, 14 catches, 260 yards, 2 TDs. They're making their mark. Tom?
All right, Jim. Anthony Miller off to a slow start with the Chargers, but finding his stride the last few weeks.
Against a pretty good defense today, too.
Elway, quick shot to Johnson. Can't get away, although he drags Mustafa to the 40-yard line.
John Elway is just so happy to be in this offense, and his owner, Pat Boland, said that, you know, one of the dumbest things we did as an organization was trying to make John Elway fit into somebody's scheme, specifically Dan Reeves. He said, now we've taken a completely different philosophy. We're going to try and take John Elway's skills and build around that. He's the franchise. Why not?
Big day for Elway. He's 17 of 22, 243 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Del Pino breaks it to the outside. Caught from behind, and then the pursuit arrives. Give Pepper Johnson credit for the tackle, but it's 13 yards and another Bronco first down. They're moving the ball at will on Cleveland.
The Denver Broncos offense obviously known for their passing game with John Elway, but I have really been impressed with the way that they have run the football. And this offense is going to continue to get better if Don Maggs is going to come back and be a bigger part of the offensive line. They'll get Keith Karst, their center back. This is a team to watch out for in the second half of the season.
Like Mike Ditka saying at halftime, as Elway gets more and more comfortable with the new offense, they'll get better. Here's Milburn. He's a new weapon, too, and he's out of bounds inside the 20. Forced out by Stivon Moore after 11 yards.
Talking about how they retooled this offense, they hired his college offensive coordinator in Jim Fossil, spent $15 million for offensive linemen. Can't tell, Milburn's shaken up a little bit on the play. But they have done everything to build around John Elway and got that young man, Glenn Milburn, to be their third down receiver. Everything was to the strength of John Elway.
From the 16, first down for the Broncos. They already lead 23-7. Tough run by Del Pino. Taken down by Bill Johnson and others. It'll be a 4-yard gain.
One of the guys doing a good job up front for the Denver Broncos is Gary Zimmerman, and he wanted to thank the National Football League. You see him right there, number 65. Wanted to thank the National Football League for cracking down on steroids. He said that the good news was that he wasn't going to have to play against the likes of guys like Dexter Manley in this league anymore.
Less than a minute remaining in the third quarter. Ball's at the Cleveland 12. Ripping straight ahead is Rod Bernstein.
I just can't believe the way that the Broncos are running the football on this Cleveland Browns defense. The Browns came in as the third best team in the National Football League against the run, and they are just on their heels going backwards, and Rod Bernstein getting those shoulders down. They've been working on them to do exactly that, and Nick Saban having a tough time trying to figure out how to do it. This is the first time all season, I believe, that the Browns have allowed over 100 yards rushing.
Closing seconds of the third quarter. In fact, Denver will not run another play.
Get away from that dog pound.
And with 5 seconds left, they call a timeout. I don't know if the play clock was running down and they didn't want to avoid a penalty or what. Looked like they were going to let the quarter expire before they ran a play.
So maybe the play clock was running down, but obviously John Elway, with a chance to put the nail in the coffin of the Cleveland Browns, didn't want to make a mistake, didn't want to take a chance on just a third down and very short situation.
Once this game is over, we'll be sending you to another game on NBC coming up on most of these stations. Game 2. Many of you will see the classic matchup between the Dolphins and the Jets as Don Shula tries to become the all-time winningest coach. Others of you will see the Raiders take on the Chicago Bears. 2 good games for you in the second half of our doubleheader here on NBC.
The Jets always give the Miami Dolphins problems. So
well, they've had some great shootouts over the years, haven't they? Usually exciting offensive games.
Beat them earlier this season as well. Broncos might have to take another timeout. They got about 16 guys in the huddle now.
Play clock is down to 10. Now Jerry Markbright says reset the play clock.
And the reason that he did it is because of the late substitution of the Denver Broncos. He had to give the Cleveland Browns a chance to make their substitutions. That's part of the new rules in the National Football League. That's why he reset the clock.
Now he's explaining it to the Browns, who really had the Broncos scrambling to get their play off. They have plenty of time now. The play clock, 15. It's 3rd and 1. Pitch to Bernstein. He has a first down to the 3-yard line of Cleveland, and that will bring the 3rd quarter to a close. At the end of 3, it's Denver 23-7. Back after a word from your local stations.
The Friday Night Mystery continues with Brian Dennehy.
Don't tempt me, you sick creep.
From the files of the real-life Chicago cop, Brian Dennehy's Jack Reed, the NBC Friday Night Mystery.
Okay, say cheese. Perfect. All right, one more. Work with me now, and cheese. Yeah. Right now, McDonald's is offering 2 delicious triple cheeseburgers for just $3. Okay, the two of you closer together, and cheese. Yes. Or if you're into doubles. Now at McDonald's, you can get 2 delicious double cheeseburgers for only $2.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
That's 2 for $2. Hurry, time's running out.
93-octane BP Super. Since we've introduced it, it's attracted a lot of attention. It's BP's best choice in quality gasolines. Only BP Super has 93 octane, the highest level of engine cleaning power. Plus an unconditional fuel system guarantee. No other gasoline gives you all this. Any wonder it's created such a following? BP, on the move.
Special preview of the swimsuit issue of Inside Sports on the next ET.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
4th quarter begins with Denver on the Cleveland 2-yard line, up 23-7. Cleveland's got to be desperate to keep him out of the end zone here, if at all possible. Elway throws it away. That's Shannon Sharp crossing at the back of the end zone and elected to heave it out of bounds.
Pressure on Elway forced him to get rid of the football. I believe that's Rob Burnett, it is, who came in late. Shannon Sharp was breaking open in the back of the end zone, but John Elway just didn't have time to find him. Big set of downs for the Cleveland Browns defense now. A touchdown by John Elway and the Broncos gives them more than a 3-touchdown lead.
Bernstein stopped short of the goal line by Pepper Johnson and others.
You know, Rod Bernstein was questionable coming into this game. He had pulled a calf muscle earlier in the week in practice. Did get a chance to practice on Friday, but they weren't sure he'd be able to go the entire afternoon. But what a factor he's been in this ball game.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 1. Denver has converted 8 of 10 on the afternoon. Bernstein on the sweep. Racing for the corner and knocked out of bounds. Well short. Loss on the play. Eric Turner, -4. Great job by Turner.
Tom, Clay Matthews right out here is going to be the guy that makes this play. Shannon Sharp goes in motion. He's going to get hooked up with Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews going to maintain that outfield position and just run the back out of bounds. Eric Turner there to clean it up. Clay Matthews, the veteran, nice football play.
So they do hold them out of the end zone. A 22-yard field goal attempt by Elam. And he boots it through. So the field goal is good. The Denver Broncos extend their lead over the Browns to 26-7.
People around Flat Rock, Michigan have a lot of reasons to be proud. One of which is building the Mazda 626. Because even with dual airbags and a V6 engine, it still costs less than a 4-cylinder Camry LE. 6 cylinders that cost less than 4? People in Flat Rock think that's a powerful argument for the 626. And so do we. Mazda. It just feels right.
Introducing the Quantum Random Orbit Sander. It works 4 times faster than a finishing sander with swirl-free results. So now you can tackle any project from start to finish. The new Quantum line from Black & Decker.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, sale ends soon.
You can combine wiener dogs and drag racing, luge and bowling, sumo and high dive, even lawyers and rodeo. In fact, if you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine just about anything. But nothing can be combined with drinking irresponsibly. That just isn't funny. Miller Lite reminds you to please think when you drink.
It's been a long, cold afternoon for Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell. His team trailing 26-7. First place team in the AFC Central. Some of you now will be leaving us to join the Buffalo at New England game. And for those of you still with us, ready for the kickoff, and Eric Metcalf has come in to receive the kickoff, standing back at the goal line. It had been Baldwin earlier.
Now, if Eric Metcalf returns this one for a touchdown, do we get the audience back?
Very short kick. They don't want Metcalf to handle it. He's going to get it anyway, but at the 16. To the 30-yard line. So give him 14 yards on the return. Tackle by Elijah Alexander.
Eric Metcalf returning the kick.
Well, just about any yardstick you want to use to measure it, the Broncos have dominated the game, including the scoreboard, where they're up 26-7. There you see the other scores. New England hanging on to the lead over Buffalo.
Minnesota making a comeback, and the Bengals. Unbelievable.
In the fourth quarter and still up on the Steelers. The late handoff to Leroy Horde. Running room up the middle. Horde breaking tackles to the 48 of the Broncos. A 21-yard gain. Jim Lampley standing by at our NFL Live studios to give us this update. Jim?
Buffalo Bills trying to get back in it against New England, trailing 10-0 in the fourth. They go to the no huddle. It results in that Kelly DeMetzelaar's touchdown pass from 9 yards out, narrowing the Parcells-Pats lead over Buffalo to 10-7 in the fourth.
That's Kozar's best pass of the day. Knocked the hat off the policeman.
And you can see right there on top why he wears that hat. Little spot can get cold in the wintertime in Cleveland. Did a nice job here, flexing those knees, getting down, keeping an eye on the football. There it is. But you lose the hat, and then everybody's going to see this.
-5 on the sack of Kosar as Shane Dronette in his second year from Texas, second-round draft choice of the Denver Broncos, gets the sack.
Well, this much maligned defensive backfield of the Denver Broncos did the job there. This isn't the fault of the offensive line. Plenty of time for Bernie Kosar. Dronette just coming around. Simply nobody open down the field for Bernie.
4 sacks for -17. Kosar's pass. Holding on is Michael Jackson. Terrific concentration by Jackson as Dennis Smith hit him hard. He holds on for 13 yards.
Michael Jackson did a great job of finding the hole in the zone. Dennis Smith was on that side. He's going to come up and make a big hit. But Michael Jackson showing a lot of courage hanging on to the football.
Jackson 3 catches, 44 yards, including a touchdown. Ford out of the backfield. Draws a crowd and pays the price. Hammered backwards. Lilo Lang was there first. Others arrived, and there's a penalty marker.
There's no foul on the play. There was no face mask. No foul.
So they picked the flag up.
Now, why do you throw a flag to tell us there was no flag on the play and no face mask? Apparently, one official saw from the one angle and thought it was a face mask. Yeah,
which it is.
I'd say that's no face mask. All right.
Spun down, 5th sack for the Broncos. Mecklenburg takes him down at the 40. That's a 10-yard loss.
Carl Mecklenburg closing in now on Simon Fletcher. Big happy face out of Carl Mecklenburg. I asked him yesterday, I said, is there anybody in the National Football League that you haven't had a chance to hit that you'd really like to? He said, yeah, John Elway. I said, what? He said, I chase him around in practice every single day, and I never get to hit him. I'd love to smack him one time.
Kosar to Horde. Flag down as Horde is taken by the jersey and pulled to the turf by Tyrone Braxton. While they sort the penalty out, bad news for Cleveland fans from Cincinnati, where the Steelers have taken a 21-16 lead on a 1-yard Barry Foster run.
That's right, my boys are just warming up there. They got to do that late 4th quarter thing in Cincinnati.
I'm surprised you're still sticking with them. Usually you've bailed out by now.
An eligible receiver downfield on the pass, number 61, offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, I didn't say who my boys were.
Steve Everett, illegally downfield.
Carl Mecklenburg. I asked him about his biggest hit ever. He hit Marcus Allen one time on a little dump pass coming out of the backfield. Said Jim Plunkett hung him up, and I should have sent him a Christmas card. I got to start the next week.
Browns going for it on 4th and 11. They trail 26-7. They've converted all 5 of their 4th down attempts this season. Kosar's pass way over the head of Jackson. At that point on 4th down, why not try?
You got to give it a shot there. I think maybe Bernie just lost track of it. Don't want to throw that one away on 4th down.
10:43 left in the game. All Denver.
Then you flip the hat. You're late and you got the wrong hat. Sit in the corner.
Ooh, no respect at all.
Then you raise the hat.
Hey, this thing's still alive.
Wrong hat. Then you slam the hat. Then you spin the hat.
Oh, I need landing instructions.
Wrong hat. Then you smooth the hat.
Take it easy, will you? I think I'm having a hat attack.
You need the right hat.
Now I'll get some respect.
Folks around Flat Rock, Michigan have their own way of conserving energy. They build the Mazda 626, and they build it so it gets the best mileage of any mid-size sedan in America.
So what do they do in your town?
I don't think there's any family who wants to have to go to somebody else to feed their children. Hunger exists in every community. Hunger really cuts across every segment of society. We know what the answer is, and the answer is to feed people. It's going to take a lot to solve hunger in this country. We're grateful for American Express card members' support in helping to provide a meal every time they use the card.
You can help. Use the American Express card to join the Charge Against Hunger till December 31st.
Maybe you didn't know that the Mazda 626 comes with the best basic warranty in its class. But the people of Flat Rock, Michigan stand behind the car they build, and that's why we can too.
It's the game of the year. #1 Florida State beats #2 Notre Dame. Heisman favorite Charlie Ward leads the Seminoles towards the one prize that's always eluded them, the national championship, while the Irish seek an unprecedented 9th title. Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern, #1 versus #2, the showdown on NBC.
Welcome back to Cleveland Stadium. 10:43 left in the game. 26-7 Broncos. And Elway and company looking to just salt it away now and work the clock a bit. Rod Bernstein would be the man that would get a lot of work in that situation. Here he is, a first down carry. Punishing tacklers. He gains 9 yards.
Bernstein, the ball carrier, the tackle.
Let's go to NFL Live. Another update from Jim Lampley.
All right, Tom, just in case you and Chris wanted to refresh your memory as to what the garden variety 1-yard Barry Foster touchdown run looks like, there it was, a quick glimpse, and it has put Pittsburgh ahead of Cincinnati, as you already told him, Tom, 21-16 in the 4th. Just trying to help out, guys.
We appreciate all your efforts today, and we could have used a little more help if you look at that score, 26-7.
Can we get a parachute out of the booth?
I hope you have McGuire back to consciousness now. I saw him there on the pregame show. Bernstein only needed a yard. Forward progress might have been enough. He's pulled back by Mike Johnson.
Now here's a good sign that a game's not going well. Look at all the room around Bill Belichick. Nobody, even this guy's not going to come over there and stand close to him. The referee will go here, but then he'll move up. Nobody wants to be around the head coach when things are this ugly.
So we'll measure to see if forward progress was enough for the first down as Bernstein pounded ahead by half the length of the football. Well, Denver Broncos were 3-3 and then had a bye week. Came back with a win at home against Seattle last week, and a win today would put them 5-3 and certainly right back in the thick of things in the West.
You know, the Browns, though, this was the best start for them that they had gotten off to since 1977, the year before Clay Matthews was drafted on this football team. The hopes were so high, now diminished just a bit.
Not only losing, but the severity of the loss. They have just not looked good at all. Del Pino on that carry, tackled by Pleasant. Two disturbing factors. The overriding one would be the ineffectiveness of the offense, and the other disturbing quality is the fact that the Broncos have been able to run on the defense, and usually they've been very tough against the run.
Well, that's what we were told yesterday. Jim Fossil said that he felt like this team was really coming together as an offense. Against Seattle, he could see the running game getting much better. John Elway was going through his progressions and reads so much better. They were making better adjustments in the red zone. I'm not so sure that this just isn't a great offense of the Denver Broncos. They lead the league in scoring.
Bernstein had a head of steam up, and he has another Denver first down. Clay Matthews, number 57, the NFL's oldest defensive player, was able to make the tackle. Look at that yards rushing. Now remember, the Browns average giving up just over 78 a game.
You know, there's some speculation, too, that this may be Clay Matthews last year. With the salary cap kicking in next season, there's not going to be room for all those high-priced veteran players. The tendency will be to go with younger, lower-priced players to try to get under that salary cap. But if it is, it will be a real shame that the cap has legislated, if you will, Clay Matthews out of the game of football.
He was saying, though, He'll find a semi-pro team or something. He'll find some way to play. That's how much he loves it. And he says when you hang out with 22-year-olds all the time, you start to think you are one. You start to feel like one.
He had really hoped that that game that went over Pittsburgh would be a major step for this team as they tried to make it on into the playoffs.
Bernstein, a couple of tough yards. Mike Johnson, another tackle. Well, Denver came out of its bye week at Mile High Stadium a week ago against the Seahawks and looked pretty sharp. A little sluggish at first, as I remember, but hitting their stride. Whereas the Browns, coming off their bye week, have just been almost flat from the outset.
And Wade Phillips did an interesting thing when he took over this football team. He gave it back to the players. He formed committees and had them elect from each player group, the linemen, the wide receivers, the running backs. Each one of those groups elected one representative, and they said, here, this is your football team. They got to make the rules in the clubhouse, got to talk with the head coach about any changes that they wanted to try and make. And the big thing that did was Carl Mecklenburg was basically saying, he said, we used to try and win football games because we were afraid of losing, because we were so uncomfortable around Dan Reeves. If we happened to lose a football game, it really was not fun at all. As you see Carl Mecklenburg, the blonde hair in behind. But now Dan Reeves has really made us feel like, or I'm sorry, Wade Phillips now has really made us feel like we want to win for us. We want to win because this is our team.
And of course, for his efforts, Wade Phillips has been tagged as too easy on his players by some of the fans. He's been criticized for being too easy on them, although with each victory, the howls of the fans diminish. Penalty markers down.
And Tom, I really think the Denver Broncos are going to be just so much tougher in the second half of the season than they are in the first. They are so young, the youngest team
Offside,
in the NFL.
Number 90, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
As Elway once again, as he always does, at least a couple of times a game, draws the defense offsides. But they're so young, and this offensive line that they spent so much money to get, Brian Habib and Gary Zimmerman and Don Maggs, will be healthy again. The return of Keith Karts to his center position. They can move Wydell back over. This is an offensive line that is going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Rod Bernstein. Good takedown there by Bill Johnson. Then Clay Matthews got a piece of it. Most of these stations, you'll be able to see a doubleheader game today on NBC. It could be the Dolphins and the Jets as Don Shula tries to set the record against a team that always gives him trouble. Or the hot LA Raiders, right in the thick of things in the West from the outset of the season, but now, after losing last week, in danger of falling to the 500 mark as they go to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. Certainly the Bears have been inconsistent this season, so.
What a great defensive line, though, the Raiders have, led by Anthony Smith.
Bernstein made a nice cut up, and then he just knocked his own man out of the way. John Melander was trying to make a block, and Bernstein hit him from behind like a bowling ball, sent Melander flying.
Tom, you always try to anticipate what might happen in a football game when you come in, but I really didn't think that Rod Bernstein and the Denver Broncos, as Rod apparently is a little shaken up on that, not used to running this much, 21 times. He's kind of over his limit. But I never thought that the Denver Broncos would be able to run the football this way on this Browns defense.
That yardage total by Bernstein is the most by any back against the Cleveland Browns this season. Del Pino stopped short of the first down.
Wade Phillips was so happy to have won that game last week with his father on the sideline, and apparently if they are short, Wade Phillips said, yeah, go ahead, go for it. It's your team. I told you, it's your team. You make up your own mind if you want to go for it or not.
Either that or a sign of how easy things have been against Belichick's team today. The Broncos have operated at will. Remember that first drive of the game, they got all the way down threatening the Cleveland goal line before a fumble ended that drive. And since then, they've pretty much had their own way. Broncos take a timeout, facing a 4th and 1. We'll be back.
Trucks are a spiritual thing to me. Something you can depend on. It's just like, you know, my best friend, I guess you might say.
Out on the ranch is where I'm at, and that's where I want the truck to work for me.
I need a truck that's rough like I am.
Introducing the all-new Mazda truck with a 4-liter V6 and a soul to match. The new Mazda truck.
Saddle up and let's go dancing.
Mazda. It just feels right.
At John Nuveen and Company, we believe our strongest bond is human. Call your advisor about Nuveen tax-free municipal bond funds or 1-800-4-NUVEEN.
The problem with cotton pants is they come out of the dryer with all these wrinkles. But hey, Hager wrinkle-free cottons are 100% cotton. They come out of the dryer wrinkle-free. And really, really hot.
Oh, Hager wrinkle-free cottons, 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
With ITT Financial Resources, ITT's automotive division developed traction control, engineered advanced wiper systems, and pioneered anti-lock brakes. And we plan to invest $2.7 billion in the next 5 years to make cars even safer. If you've never thought about who makes the parts in your car, maybe it's time you did. ITT. We're adding more than just our name.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By John Nuveen and Company, where we still believe our strongest bond is human. By Hewlett-Packard DeskJet and LaserJet printers. And by the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Cleveland fans making a visual statement here on this game.
You see them, they're going out this way, going to be blocking our path to the airport. We wish this was a little better football game. Keep the crowd in here a while.
38-yard field goal attempt by Jason Elam as the Broncos elect to kick the field goal rather than go for it on 4th and 1. Turned out to be a good decision. Elam boots it through to up the score to 29-7. Wade Phillips. Lake Erie looks awfully cold.
This is your life. This is your world. This is your chance. You gotta be there now.
Since Sprint is the only global phone company that offers everything, local, long distance, and cellular, it means with Sprint, no matter where you go, there you are.
You're looking at the most powerful import pickup ever built. The new 4-liter V6 Mazda truck. What all the beautiful people are driving this year.
What is the color of a giggle? What is the sound of the sun going down? With 3 hours of breathtaking picture and sound on a single tape, and instant playback at the touch of a button, nothing portrays the moments that color our lives like a Sony Handycam camcorder. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
Behind every new Mazda truck is an unsurpassed 50,000-mile, 3-year basic warranty. And behind that, who knows?
NBC presents Patty Duke in a fiery first-rate performance as Chicago Sun-Times. A suspenseful, sensational motion picture raves TV guide. A matter of justice, NBC tonight.
Very familiar sight over major sporting events. The Goodyear Blimp providing us with our aerial views today. Luckily for them, they only had to come to Akron from Akron for this game.
A little traffic jam out there, Tom. We're getting nervous.
A lot of empty seats in Cleveland Stadium. Began the day with high expectations, a little revenge motive against those 3 AFC championship games that the Broncos won and the Browns didn't go to the Super Bowl, and it's ended up being a rather dismal afternoon. Randy Baldwin bouncing off tacklers close to the 40-yard line. 18-yard return gives us a chance to check in once more with Jim Lampley.
For a moment of drama from Foxborough, Tom. Desperate straits for the Bills at their own 34. Clock running down, less than 40 seconds. Kelly finds the Pat killer, Russell Copland. He returned the punt against New England earlier in the season. This time his 56-yarder sets up the game-tying field goal. They're headed to overtime. Tom Hammond.
Overtime game. Well, they've had great games over the season, even when the New England Patriots were bad. As you pointed out, they always seem to play the Bills tough.
And the Patriots just keep losing those close games this year.
Tied 10-10. Leroy Horde gets a couple. This will be the most points scored against the Cleveland defense since November 10th, 1991, when the Eagles scored 32.
Kind of looks like an Indians game on opening day, doesn't it? Sorry about that. It's cold. I shouldn't have said that.
You may
Not when they get to the new stadium, though. They'll be packed.
You may be in a hurry to get out of Cleveland more than you know. If anybody's listening. Metcalf can't hang on.
He is human. It was interesting, though, that he was so cool after that second punt return last week. We showed him or 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh, showed him on the sideline, and he just kind of sitting there by himself, relaxing, taking it easy. And I said, well, what about your dad? Was he excited? He said, no, he was even cooler than I was. His only comment was I tired after that track meet on Sunday?
Kozar sacked for the 6th time, I believe. 6 sacks for the Denver defense. This one by the rookie, Jeff Robinson from Idaho.
That feels good. First sack in the National Football League. Jeff Robinson just working against Houston Hoover right around the corner. Little Mark Gastineau time now.
10-10 in overtime, Buffalo and New England. You surprised that Dallas is having such an easy time with the Giants today?
Not really.
Okay. Steelers up 5 in the 4th quarter.
Our producer, Victor Frank, pretty excited about that score.
Hanson's punt, line drive variety, fumbled, and recovered by Milburn, 36 yards. We remind you, coming up Saturday, the college football game of the year. It'll be at Notre Dame Stadium, the house that Rockne built, as the Fighting Irish take on the top-ranked Seminoles of Florida State. Charlie Ward and company taking on the Fighting Irish. Interesting to see what the weather will be. It starts at 1:30 Eastern Time.
Did you hear Bobby Bowden's quotes after the game? They said, is Charlie Ward going to start at quarterback? He said, if he gets run over by a train on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'll still start him on Saturday.
Tommy Maddox in at quarterback, his first action of the '93 season. Flags down. Del Pino got the handoff and was immediately met by Anthony Pleasant. There's Tommy Maddox, second year out of...
Ball start, number 88, offense. Prior to the snap, no play. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Elway again does it to the Browns. 17 of 23, 244 yards, 3 touchdown passes.
Wade Wilson was saying, too, he said, everybody's trying to figure out an answer why that we can beat Cleveland, why we've done it on such a regular basis. He said, hey, nobody's ever come up with a theory. Maybe we're just a better team.
Based on today's results, looks like a pretty accurate assessment. At least today they were the better team. We come to the 2-minute warning. We'll take a break with Denver holding on to a 29-7 advantage.
Other laser printers are still playing leapfrog, trying to reach the standards set by Hewlett-Packard. But no matter how hard they try, they keep falling short of the original. If it isn't a laser jet, it's only a laser printer.
You know McDonald's Extra Value Meals come with golden fries and icy Coca-Cola, right? Good. You know there's now always one on the menu for $2.99. Okay. And you know which Extra Value Meal is $2.99 at your McDonald's. No? Well, if you want to know, you gotta go.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer's the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick. we're changing the face of shaving.
Did you reserve the car with Hertz?
Not exactly, but it's a good deal.
Are they as fast as Hertz?
Not exactly, but what's the rush? We're on vacation.
Dad, are we lost? Hertz gives you computerized directions.
Honey, this is not exactly Hertz, okay?
I hope they have the same emergency road service as Hertz.
Not exactly.
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
Are you sure this is the way to the hotel?
Not exactly.
Did you hear that?
John Elway strikes again at Cleveland Stadium as the Broncos on their way to win number 5 of the season. And the Cleveland Browns lead in the AFC Central in doubt as Pittsburgh continues to lead Cincinnati. Cleveland had taken possession at first by beating the Steelers 2 weeks ago, and a big smile on John Elway's face.
I told him that I was going to do the pregame show thing down there from the dog pound. I asked if he had any messages he wanted me to pass along. I won't be telling you what the boy said. He's not a big fan of the dog pound.
Guess he had the last laugh today, though, as Bernie Kosar had a tough afternoon. Remind you that coming up tonight, you'll see an all-new Eyewitness video, followed by a new Sequest adventure, and then a world premiere motion picture event based on a true story, A Matter of Justice. All coming up tonight on NBC.
Patty Duke back in that movie. Saw the previews for it last night.
You know it's bad when the dog pound clears out early.
How can they get uglier, but they are with those masks.
Time to take a look now for the Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton Super Play of the Game.
Derek Russell just splitting the seam here as Elway looked left, came back right, and broke this game open to a big play receiver, Derek Russell.
That's our Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton Super Play of the Game. And it came from John Elway to Derek Russell. Elway's afternoon including 3 touchdown passes.
You know, the interesting thing about Derek Russell is he hated the Broncos as a kid growing up. Said the Cowboys were his favorite team, and he was mad when he got called and was drafted by the Denver Broncos. Said Dan Reeves called him, and the first thing he said was, first of all, what took you so long? Why'd you wait to the 4th round?
Only 1 catch, but for a touchdown. And for Elway, now 12 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on the season. Here's a run by Rivers. Elway, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Significant when you consider that last year he had 10 touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
He is red hot and beginning to make a push for MVP honors as if this team continues to go. And you also just have to begin to wonder now about the strength of the AFC's Western Division. All those teams very competitive, and whoever comes out of that division may not have a great record, but may be the best team in the AFC. They just keep beating each other up.
Denver set to meet the Minnesota Vikings at Mile High next week. Then they'll take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, again from the AFC Central. They'll have a return match against the Seahawks, this time in Seattle.
That game against Pittsburgh is going to be very interesting indeed. I think before it's all said and done, provided Pittsburgh can win today in Cincinnati, that they are going to be one of the 2 or 3 teams to beat in the AFC.
Thanks to John Betschkel, Jeff Fenner, and David Clancy at their help in the booth today. Bill Belichick. The Cleveland teams have been 1-3, about to be 1-4, coming off their bye week. They just have not been sharp after the week off in their 5 games in that situation. For the Browns, they'll be at Seattle playing the Seahawks at the Kingdome next week. Then AFC Central rival Houston here, at Atlanta, New Orleans at home, and at Houston.
Houston is the wild card in that AFC Central division. You just don't know. They have, I think, unquestionably the best talent in this division, and if they can mentally put it together and leave all the internal friction behind them, it'd be tough to handle by the end of the season as well.
Minute 12 left in this game. Here's the punt. Bruins punt, fielded by Metcalf at the 30. Made a nice little jump to get away from one man, and then is corralled and downed after only a 2-yard return.
And what a job today by the special teams of the Denver Broncos. They have just played outstanding football, coached by Richard Smith.
The invitation was accepted to meet Mr. Metcalf at Cleveland Stadium.
And you just wonder how much that bye week took away the momentum of that huge win against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Took away the momentum of the Steelers or the momentum of the Browns after beating the Steelers?
Both. Don't ask me hard questions late in the game.
Steelers didn't play so well at Cincinnati either, now that you mention it.
That's true.
Coming off their bye week.
That's true.
Kosar steps up. He's got room to run, and he will. And safely slides down. This is no time to get your #1 quarterback put out of action after already losing Vinny Testaverde in the last game.
And the questions are going to continue about this offense. Can they provide enough of an offensive spark to carry this team into the playoffs? Defensively, a pretty good bunch. Offensively, all the question marks.
They tried that play a lot this afternoon. Leroy Horde on the little dump pass from Kosar, and Horde has made something out of it. 24-yard gain that time, and Cleveland has taken a timeout. Well, one good thing about it, it gives us a chance to bring you this commercial. We'll be back.
There I was, buried in forms. There she was from Xerox calling them documents. Documents? What are you talking about, I say? Store all these electronically, she says. All those files, those warehouses, get rid of them. And I see it. Electronic storage. Cutting my costs. I say, yeah, when you're talking about my documents, you're talking about my profits. Exactly, she says.
See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
18 seconds left. The Denver Broncos will push their record to 5-3, and the Browns will be likewise after this 29-7 Denver victory, barring a touchdown in the final 18 seconds by the Browns. Kosar for Jackson. He's got the touchdown. 38 yards as Jackson got behind Frank Robinson. Too little, too late, though, for the Cleveland Browns.
I bet you Charlie Waters, the defensive coordinator of the Broncos, is not happy even a little bit with that. His defense played so well today. They came in ranked as the 24th defense in the National Football League, 28th against the pass. You've been having a good day, a chance to drop those stats down and get that monkey off your back. And then all of a sudden at the end of the game, they're going to hit a couple of passes and a cheap score.
Jackson has 2 touchdowns today, 4 catches, 86 yards, 2 scores. The only bright spot for the Browns all afternoon. Stover with the extra point, and it's good.
You know, I asked Mike Jackson yesterday about the whole, his quotes about Bill Belichick and putting in an offensive coordinator and all the controversy that was around here, and he said, it's not a problem within this building with my teammates, but it is a problem outside the building with you and your cohorts. I think he was talking about you at that point. I'm pretty sure. And I said, well, it was Tom Hammond that kept telling me to bring it up. And so he wants to have a little talk with you next time.
You are the well-known instigator, and besides that, I'm not worried about you wide receiver types.
But he just said that the whole thing was just blown so far out of proportion, and he was misinterpreted, and would we please just drop it. Oh, we will.
Bernie Kosar, how do you assess his performance today?
The Browns just got so far out of their game plan when they fell behind early. This is a football team that just cannot afford to play from behind. 226 yards passing. That may be the biggest passing day that the Browns have had this entire season. I see Bernie showing a little respect, maybe just happy to get out of this one. But there's the guy. There is the guy.
Here's the onside kick attempt coming up. Hansen will be the man that will attempt it on the kick. Touched by the Broncos. Flag down. 9 seconds left. Look at Shannon Sharpe. He's got that going again. We saw it earlier when he scored the touchdown, that flex move.
He's just happy they didn't kick the ball to him. Now, they may be calling offsides against the Broncos if he broke through that 10-yard plane too early. I didn't see who it was that attacked the football right off the bat. Maybe it was Sharpe. But you're not allowed to cross that line before it's kicked. I used to be on that hands team. That's a miserable team. All you do is go down there and get wiped out.
We have an offside on number 89, receiving team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Just what we needed, a re-kick.
As the traffic builds.
Reggie Johnson was the man offside.
See if he's going to cross the line here before this ball is kicked.
A little bit.
You know, only a tight end would attack an onside kick anyway. It got that forward lean going. And now the worst. Now everybody out there on this field is saying evil things about Johnson because they've got to line up and get whacked again.
That time.
I think it was Johnson that got it.
Reggie falls on it, yeah.
He had to because nobody else was going to touch it.
Well, not many have stuck around for the conclusion of this one. I think this is the fewest people I've seen at the end of a game in Cleveland Stadium. Commentary on their Browns' performance today.
And now probably the issues of the offensive coordinator and all, and Bernie and Bill's relationship all are going to be dragged up all over again.
Talk radio stations will be humming, won't they, this week?
Indeed they will.
Just 8 seconds left. That'll be a long, lonely walk to the locker room for Bill Belichick. But Wade Phillips has got to be happy with his team's performance. A dominating effort for the Broncos today. 29-14 the final. We'll be back for some comments in a moment.
Oh, Mr. Energizer Bunny, out for a stroll. My matter desolidificator will put an end to your precious little source of power. Your hippity-hoppity days are over.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
Great look. Beautiful hair. And only weeks ago, she came to my salon with a problem. Dandruff. So I showed her what Head & Shoulders can do. We washed half her hair with regular shampoo, the other half with Head & Shoulders. The result? Regular shampoo side, dandruff. Head & Shoulders side, flake-free. Looking good, Sally.
Thanks to you.
Head & Shoulders, because beautiful hair can't have flakes.
Some brewers look out their windows and see skyscrapers. Some don't.
Final score from Cleveland, the Denver Broncos 29, the Cleveland Browns 14. Coming up next, most of these NBC stations, game 2 of our doubleheader. You'll either see the Jets and the Dolphins or the Raiders against the Bears in Chicago. That's all coming up next. So for Chris Collinsworth, I'm Tom Hammond saying so long from Cleveland. You've been watching NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League. across the Pacific. They're playing our song. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
A husband's perfect crime.
They murdered our daughter, now he's trying to run away.
Based on the true story of one family's determined fight to stop him. The Unsolved Mysteries movie, NBC Tuesday.
The new Ram pickup features a frame design so strong, it's been patented. Its available rear step bumper can pull 5,000 pounds by itself without the help of that frame. And the tie-downs in back are so strong, they can support the weight of the entire truck. We overbuilt this pickup because we were sure you'd never underwork it. New Dodge Ram, the rules have changed.
Experience how the rules have changed. Take the ultimate test drive at your nearest Dodge dealer.
Don't miss your chance to win $10,000 worth of free groceries in the Plain Dealer and Finest Great Grocery Giveaway. Look for details right now in the Plain Dealer.
We now join our regularly...
Back to Cleveland at Channel 3.
We have an hour noon show. We've devoted more resources to 6 and 11. We've expanded to weekends. We have Talkback 3. Doppler 3 radar is one of the finest weather machines I've ever seen. You're going to see more news on our newscast than you've ever seen before.
Is anybody going to do the story about history?
We're committed to covering this community, and that's exactly what we're going to do. That's why I came back.
What men do to enhance their sexual prowess. Next, Donahue.
We now join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.